SNN, the Suncoast News Network, your local news leader.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us here on SNN's Headline Edition. I'm Don Brennan.
And I'm Eric Wilson. We will get to your top stories. Let's get right to them.
Sorry about that, Eric. Meanwhile, 4 people are dead after the single-engine plane they were flying in crashed into the Gulf of Mexico last night, a few hundred yards off the Venice Pier.
SNN's Alex Vaughn has the story.
William Lumpkin was the pilot of the Piper Saratoga. He named the aircraft after his wife, calling it the Patty Ann. They died when Piper went into the Gulf Wednesday night. Passengers Elizabeth and Ricky Beaver also perished in the accident. The couples were from suburban Indianapolis. Venice Police Patrol Division Commander Captain Andy Lysenring said the single-engine plane departed St. Petersburg Wednesday, arriving at the Venice Municipal Airport around 5 p.m. The couples had dinner with friends at an area restaurant. Shortly after taking off from Venice to return to St. Petersburg, the plane crashed. This was the second fatal crash into the Gulf in 4 months.
I've been working here for 16 years, and the last crash was the first crash that went off into the Gulf like that. So to have 2 in that short period of time is certainly unusual. But, I mean, it's really too early to make any conclusions, because we have to see what happened. You know, what was the cause of this crash? It could be 2 completely unrelated causes, and it just happened to be that close together. We just don't know yet.
The men's bodies were recovered Wednesday night. Dive teams returned to the scene at first light, locating the main portion of the aircraft, as well as 2 bodies of the deceased females. At a press conference Thursday, Venice Airport Director Mark Servasio said flying at night is a call made by the pilots.
Well, that's the thing. We don't have a control tower at the airport, so the runway that is used is up to the pilot. So it's up to them to make the decision as to which runway they're going to use. Usually that's based on the direction of the winds.
Since 2004, 11 people have died in plane wrecks from the Venice airport, which is raising questions over safety at Venice. Servasio says he can't comment about nighttime disorientation over the Gulf while flying, which is an issue raised by some pilots. But he stressed the airport was properly functioning during the time of the incident.
I'm going to comply with the FAA's and the FDOT's requirements for operating an airport and making sure that the airport is safe.
The NTSB is expected to issue a preliminary report in the coming weeks. Reporting in Venice, Alex Vaughn, SNN, the Suncoast News Network.
All right, well, the group came to Venice to have dinner last night at Sharky's, and unfortunately, it ended very tragic. Now, New College of Florida banning TikTok, WeChat, and other platforms following an emergency statewide regulation. In fact, the college is banning the use of these apps on college-owned devices and networks as of March 28th. The Florida Board of Governors approved an emergency regulation to accelerate implementation of the regulation, which allows for the blocking of access to websites and social media platforms deemed to threaten personal privacy and national security. TikTok, a video sharing app, has been under scrutiny both nationally and internationally lately because of privacy and cyber security reasons.
The Manatee County Animal Shelter is overflowing with dogs right now, and they need your help. The urgent need is for people to adopt and foster those dogs. Currently, 97 are available for adoption. The Palmetto Adoption Center is reaching what officials are calling a critical population level, or you could just say overcrowding, you know, you don't need a big term. Well, since the new year, the shelter has accepted about 300 pets per month on average. So to help encourage people to adopt, the county is waiving all adoption fees for the rest of the month of April. So it'll run right on through till April 30th, Sunday, April 30th. So you can get a dog right now and no adoption fee. Dog fosterers are also needed to help socialize the pets, get them ready for adoption. Palmetto Adoption Center and Shelter is located on 25th Street West in Palmetto. And a terrible act, speaking of dogs, caught on camera right here in Florida, in South Florida actually. A woman says she returned from a trip to find a dog tethered to a fence outside in the hot sun. right near her home.
Alex Browning has the story.
What's the matter? What's the matter, huh?
Imagine coming home to this.
It's really cruel what they did. Totally cruel.
Cruel and inhumane, to say the least. A German Shepherd puppy left tied to a fence in South Miami-Dade.
The dog was out there about 16 hours before we even found it. I'd been gone for a few days. What if I stayed for a week? She would have been dead.
Jennifer's home surveillance camera was rolling Tuesday night just after 6 when a white pickup drives by along the 16,000 block of Southwest 256th Street. The driver appears to look up the driveway. Fast forward, the truck comes back around, stops, and a man in a blue shirt pops the tailgate, leads the pup off the truck bed, and then they take off. You see the puppy chase after them, but at some point just past the hedges, someone gets out and ties the German Shepherd to the fence.
Here the chain link is kind of like bent out. She might have tried to pull to get away.
A despicable act caught on camera.
Can't believe what people do.
A pup now receiving some much-needed TLC.
Sit, sit. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
While Jennifer hopes someone steps forward to give this girl a forever home. And those men responsible, well, she hopes they get the karma they deserve.
We'll find out what happened, okay? We're working on it.
That was Alex Brown reporting. Now, in spite of that traumatic ordeal, luckily, the puppy is said to be in good health, friendly, and best of all, well-trained.
Resilient little guy.
Yes, very resilient. Now, with school safety concerns rising, one Suncoast school is trying to find a different way to protect its students.
Indeed, they have found a different way, and SNN's Christy Sultan tells us how.
With the recent school shooting in Nashville, the question on how to make sure students are safe going to school continues to be asked. Dr. Bill Jones, principal of Manatee School for the Arts, believes he has the answer. After the Parkland shooting, he decided to implement the Guardian program.
The ones we have on campus now, they're all ex-military, all combat veterans. They've all been in firefights. They've been shot at. They've shot. They've done guard details. These are top flight guys.
The Guardians in school are security guards armed with handguns and rifles.
What's the tool that you need? What's the scenario? What's the situation? Might you have to shoot 100 yards? Might you have to shoot in a group? Do you want the most accurate weapon that you can have to avoid any damage or collateral damage? And the answer to all those questions is yes, yes, and yes.
Which is why Dr. Jones believes armed guards should have rifles. In Palmetto, Christy Sultan, SNN, the Suncoast News Network.
And obviously, that's not for every school or every administrator will want that, but there are some that would, and you should do your research according to Dr. Jones before you decide on any safety program. All right, now on a lighter note, it may not be Taco Tuesday, but Thursday, today, April 6th, was National Burrito Day. If you're looking for dinner and a deal, Chipotle Mexican Grill, well, dinner's over, but now I'm really craving a burrito. I don't know about you guys, this is making me really hungry, and I just ate dinner. But phenomenal, and we're 1 month away from Cinco de Mayo, but today is Burrito Day, so you can go anywhere and get a good old burrito. The Tijuana Flats is also a good place for a great burrito. All right, more news coming up, especially we're going to talk about car payments and why they are on the rise. Yeah, everything's on the rise these days. We're getting hit from every angle. Stay tuned.